As soon as I seen him collapse, I ran. I noticed that there was blood everywhere, he was bleeding.
A scene of horror in the middle of the day on a quiet residential street. A man out walking with a young child stabbed multiple times. The rush to save his life and the mission to find any potential motive.
Good evening. We'll get to that story in a moment, but we begin with breaking news. A resignation in just the last few minutes in connection with a blistering investigation into Ontario's Greenbelt.
A report finding the government favored certain developers when opening up the protected land. Tonight, there's a political casualty. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris is live with all the details. Siobhan.
Well, Nathan, the note from the Premier's office was short at about 5:20, saying that Ryan Amato, the Chief of Staff to the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, had resigned and that the Premier had accepted that resignation. It was Ryan Amato who was named in that damning report from the Auditor General 2 weeks ago about the Greenbelt land swap. She says it was that Chief of Staff who pulled together a group in secret to look at removing lands from the Greenbelt for development. She talked about the Chief of Staff running a biased process, one that favored developers close to the government. We know that those developers actually passed information to Amato about lands that they'd like to see removed from the Greenbelt for housing development. So a really a big turn of events here, because we had heard that Ryan Amato did have the confidence of the Premier and his boss, the Minister of Housing and Municipal Affairs. So quite a big change tonight on that file.
And Siobhan, there are still calls for the minister himself, Steve Clark, to step down.
There are, and I actually just asked the Premier's office a few minutes ago if Doug Ford, the Premier, still has confidence in Steve Clark to run that file, the critical housing file. The answer is a simple yes. But we are already hearing from opposition parties tonight, the Greens and the Liberals, saying that this issue is not going to go away, that Steve Clark does need to give up his post. They don't believe that he didn't know what his Chief of Staff, Ryan Amato, was up to. The Auditor General herself says she believes that he ought to have known, even though we've heard from Clark and from the Premier that they just didn't know. Now, also today, the government has been facing some criticism on another file, a hot potato issue here at Ontario Place, where a redevelopment is in the works. Today, the team behind it shared new renderings responding to some public criticism. Now a ring of lush trees on the edge of Lake Ontario. The future vision is bands of green hugging trails leading to a spa and indoor water park. These are the reimaginings of Ontario Place's West Island, an update to the plan made after pushback from City Hall and the public.
The building is smaller. We've shrank the volume by about 25%.
Dropping the main building from 45 meters to 22 and adding some smaller buildings. By doing that,
we've also been able to add almost 4 new acres of rooftop parks and public trails.
For almost 16 acres of public space, slightly more than there is now. But opponents of this makeover say there's no comparison.
So here we have 15 acres of unbroken parkland. In this other plan, we're kind of snaking around all of these glass mega spas in a fashion which is kind of just broken up little concrete pathways.
There's a feeling some fundamental concerns haven't been addressed.
It's still going to be handing over some of the most valuable public parkland in the country to this, private Austrian mega spa for 95 years at no cost. Plus, we're throwing in $650 million taxpayer dollars.
The bulk of that money going to build an underground parking garage.
They have totally lost the reason for Ontario Place, which was meant to celebrate and reflect Ontario to Ontarians, give Ontarians a backyard.
But the Therma team stresses that backyard has always included active fun, with splash pads, water slides, and thrills. Architect Gary McCluskey remembers the pilgrimage to Ontario Place through the years.
What it's doing is taking the history of that, the use of that, and really kind of making it new for our time. So I think we're very much on that theme of what Ontario Place always was.
We've heard from Deputy Mayor Asma Malik tonight. She says that this new plan falls short of what's expected for this site as far as the city is concerned. The first public consultation on this new plan is September 7th. Reporting live from Ontario Place, I'm Siobhan Morris. Nathan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Siobhan. And our coverage of this breaking story continues online. You can find the newest details at ctvnewstoronto.ca. Turning next to a terrifying scene playing out in a residential neighborhood in Oshawa. And a warning, some of the details and video in this story are disturbing.
A man stabbed multiple times while out for a walk with a young child. Police not ruling out the possibility this whole thing may have been random. CTV's Janice Golding is live with more. Janice.
Hi, Michelle. Durham Regional Police are crediting quick-thinking neighbors for helping to save a man's life and for the speedy arrest of the man accused of stabbing him. You can hear a man crying out as he pushes a baby stroller.
He was saying in Hindi, like, bachao, that's translated to help.
Within seconds, neighbors run to assist him.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
A frightened toddler can be heard in the background as residents on Oshawa's Dalhousie Crescent near Simcoe and Conlon surround her grandfather.
But when we saw it, like, he was full of wounds on his jaw and shoulder and collarbone.
I feel like really bad. I feel scared because disturbed, like he was an old guy and he was with a baby and we just saw the baby crying.
Stay still. Among them, Gary, who says instinct kicked in.
Because I seen one stab wound on his neck, and then I noticed another one down here that was bleeding pretty bad, so I took my shirt off and put it on the wounds and applied pressure to it.
Towels or something? Can we get something like bigger, like a towel?
Emergency responders would soon take over, rushing the 66-year-old to a Toronto trauma center.
He is in stable but still critical condition.
Neighbors say despite being badly wounded, the victim was not concerned about himself.
See, he was more concerned about his granddaughter. He was waiting for somebody to come and get the baby so that he could lie down.
Those who helped the victim say he could not describe the suspect in an attack police say appears to have been random.
At this time, we're unaware of any relation between the victim and the suspect.
Don't worry, ambulance is already on its way.
And that, more than anything else they witnessed today, is what residents say disturbs the most.
Sick to my stomach that something like this would happen in this neighborhood.
It was so shocking and I feel too unsafe because that guy was going around and like moving a kid in a stroller.
Soon after the stabbing, which happened at 11:45, a man was arrested without incident in a nearby residence. Police say the suspect is known to them and has been known to live in Durham Region. The suspect has been charged with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. Reporting live, I'm Janice Golding. Now back to Michelle.
Thank you, Janice. We'll have more news in a moment, but first, here's a look outside on this Tuesday evening. A wonderful night weather-wise, just gorgeous, comfortable and clear across southern Ontario. Lindsay Morrison is here with a look at the current conditions. This is really a day to enjoy because the weather takes a little bit of a turn.
It really is going to, Michelle, starting overnight tonight, but we'll notice it into the day tomorrow. Yeah, a day like this, it doesn't get much better in late August. What you see is what you get here when it comes to the temperature. 23 degrees in Toronto, low humidity. You may have noticed it's slightly cooler in areas like Oakville and Burlington, thanks in part to the breeze coming off the lake. The wind's not overly strong other than that. All is clear right now, but as we widen the satellite and radar out, you'll see some of the cloud cover that is going to increase in our area overnight tonight. And yes, some wet weather that is waiting on our doorstep too. So this is a great evening to head to the Midway at the CNE. Nice looking night ahead, but a change in store for tomorrow. The next couple of days are going to be a little cool and certainly unsettled. We'll talk all about it coming up in your weather forecast. For now, though, Michelle, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, it remains an unsettling time for hundreds of residents of a Toronto apartment building.
Many still without power in the aftermath of a weekend electrical fire. And some say their concerns are being ignored. CTV's Mike Walker is live with more. Mike.
Well, Nathan, Michelle, residents we've been speaking with tell us they're not getting a lot of direction, a lot of communication from the property management company. I can tell you that electrical repairs are ongoing, but the more than 200 units in this apartment building are still without power. And as you can see behind me, right now work is being done to prepare to bring in some generators to hopefully provide some more power to tenants here. For more than 48 hours, tenants at 357 Rush Home have been without power, and there is still no word on when it could be restored.
There are a lot of people with mobility issues that can't leave their units. The elevators are down, and it's just a really crazy situation, and it was a pretty traumatic experience as well.
Officials have said it could be days. Tenants who have somewhere else to stay, picking up extra clothes and emptying their fridges today. Some returning, hoping for answers.
Today I'm just here to go in, see if I have functional running water.
Paul Hunkin lives on the 12th floor and has been living on a friend's couch since the fire broke out Sunday.
I do understand they have to test every system. They have to pull out everything in the walls, because everyone can look at this and go, yeah, we don't have a timeline, that's fine. but management has really failed to step up.
The cause of the electrical fire is still being investigated by the Office of the Fire Marshal. The property management company says it hasn't been granted control of the affected site. A spokesperson stating the initial review of the electrical damage sustained in the fire indicates that the repair work will be challenging. Despite our best efforts, we anticipate that residents may experience service interruptions and continued inconvenience in the coming days.
It's extremely frustrating, and especially because, in my opinion, it was completely preventable. Had they done a little due diligence and maybe inspected the whole building, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
In the meantime, water has been restored to units and lighting is on in the hallways. Toronto Fire has deemed the building safe to occupy after monitoring the air quality.
It's been deemed safe to live in, but there's a lot of soot. It still smells of smoke.
I get letters that say, oh, you can stay here if you want, but there's no services. How can you stay somewhere with no hydro?
The Red Cross has a representative on site, an agency the city says it's working with as it closely monitors the situation.
We are assisting to make sure that if people need to come up and down or need water, there are assistants. We are monitoring very closely.
Spoiled food was being removed from units today. A Toronto fire crew remains on standby, performing welfare checks.
So as you can see right now, crews are preparing the front lawn of the apartment building here. They will be laying down gravel. This is for a generator trailer to be brought on site to provide power to the building. At this point, though, there is no timeline as to when residents can expect to have power back in their units. Reporting live, I'm Mike Walker. Nathan, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Elsewhere in the city, the ribbon is now cut on a brand new childcare center in North York.
A municipal success story the mayor hopes isn't the last of its kind, following provincial changes that could affect Toronto's ability to pay. CTV's Natalie Johnson explains.
Getting a daycare space in Toronto can require endless digging, something new mom Camilla Futatsui knows all too well.
We are still in a wait list, so it's challenge as it is, only, to have to care for your baby on a daily basis. And I figured out that it was going to be very difficult to find our spot.
But with every new child care center that opens, more families have more options. This new North York daycare on the ground floor of a residential building is city-owned, constructed by the developer in exchange for permission to build these condos.
You can't have a complete neighborhood or community without taking care of the children, taking care of families.
Problem is, the mayor stresses, the provision that used to allow for that kind of deal is no longer in place.
Under the previous Planning Act, the city had the power to negotiate community benefits with developers. For example, they could require a child care center or a park or a community center to be included as part of the new build. But under the Provincial Bill 23, which is designed to spur the construction of more homes faster, the city loses some of that leverage.
For instance, we could negotiate with the developer. If you want to build this kind of density, you're going to have to build a licensable daycare space at your own expense. We've lost that power. So getting the cash is okay, but that will go more into general revenue. It'll be harder to allocate it.
That cash is expected to follow a Queen's Park ordered audit of Toronto's books to compensate the city for the hit resulting from the provincial changes.
The Premier promised that he will make us whole, i.e. is going to replace all the funds that would be taken away. So we hope that the Premier will honor that agreement so that we can build more of these childcare centers in places where we're building housing.
Counting on the province to play nice in the sandbox. Natalie Johnson, CTV News.
An admitted child abuser has been allowed to practice law in Ontario, and the public is not allowed to know his identity. The Law Society Tribunal ruling the man, who can only be identified as AA because of a publication ban, has established his good character and is eligible for his license. He had previously admitted to sexually abusing children 3 times in 2009. The tribunal found while the nature of his behavior was severe, he's eligible to practice law due to his remorse and efforts at rehabilitation. However, he will not be allowed to be around children unsupervised.
A group of Jamaican migrant workers in Ontario has been sent home early after staging a strike.
Some days you're working, some days you're not. You don't pick and choose the days you want to work. That's not the way this works.
The workers were repatriated after holding a one-day walkout earlier this month. It was to protest their workplace conditions. The Canadian government says the mistreatment or abuse of temporary foreign workers will not be tolerated. Jamaican officials are investigating. And you can find out more about this story on our website. To read the full-length article, visit ctvnewstoronto.ca. In BC, dozens of evacuation orders have been peeled back, but alerts remain in place across the central Okanagan.
The full extent of the damage is slowly emerging as crews in Shuswap face increased fire activity and a rising threat level. CTV's Vanessa Lee reports.
There is some optimism in the Kelowna area today as the thick blanket of toxic smoke is expected to clear, allowing crews to once again battle the flames from the air.
You're tired of being out of your homes, you're tired of this situation that we're in, and so are we. But we're not stopping and we're not giving up, and nor should you.
Wildfires have forced tens of thousands from their homes, but fire officials are hopeful some may soon be able to start returning, though home won't look the same for everyone.
We walked around our house and there's embers twice the size of my fist in our yard, so I think we got lucky.
Early estimates suggest while massive swatches of land have been torched, more than 3,000 properties were saved, with fewer than 200 structures lost in the central Okanagan.
Teams are working around the clock to get you home as quickly as possible. This is going to take time. Your safety is our top priority, and we need to get it right.
In Shuswap 2, visibility is improving, and fire crews are back in the air. But the threat is still there, and so too is frustration. Many feel they are not being supported and are ignoring orders, choosing to stay behind to protect their properties.
It's frustrating, we're angry, we kind of feel helpless.
The only people I see here right now, these are locals, okay? My son and locals.
The Premier today joining the Federal Emergency Preparedness Minister to visit hard-hit areas, showing support for those who have lost everything and for the firefighters still working 24 hours a day to save what they can.
Rain has been a welcome sight here, but there were also thunderstorms last night, with lightning sparking new hotspots. Officials say the Shuswap region isn't in the clear just yet. Vanessa Lee, CTV News, Enderby, British Columbia.
North of BC, a wildfire remains about 15 kilometers from Yellowknife tonight.
Received about 10 to 11 millimeters of rain over the past few days, and that's far from enough to prevent risk to Yellowknife at this time. We've got very little in the long-term forecast and warming temperatures. So again, there's a lot of work ahead on this.
Blazes in the Northwest Territories have forced about 30,000 people from their homes. That's 7 out of every 10 residents. In addition to the capital, a number of other communities are under evacuation orders. Battling the fire near Fort Smith is expected to be particularly challenging because of temperatures approaching 30 degrees. Elsewhere, flames are still about 8 kilometers from Hay River.
In the U.S., Tropical Storm Harold made landfall today in Texas. This fast-moving storm lashed the southern tip of the state, racing across the region. It brought torrential downpours that could produce flooding and winds capable of causing minor damage to homes and infrastructure. Some 24,000 customers in southeastern Texas were without power as of midday. About 1.3 million people were under a tropical storm warning.
Meanwhile, the Dominican Republic is bracing for the arrival of a different tropical storm. Franklin is threatening to unleash heavy floods and landslides when it makes landfall early tomorrow. The storm is expected to strengthen before that. It's about 400 kilometers south of the Caribbean nation, with maximum sustained winds of 85 kilometers per hour. Next to a scene you simply need to see to believe. When it comes to rescue operations, they don't often come as precarious as this.
A cable car dangling above a remote canyon in Pakistan. The stranded passengers, including children. CTV's Zoraida Allman is live with more. Zoraida.
Michelle, first we want to say everybody is safe. It happened at about 7 a.m. local time. The students aged 11 to 15 were traveling to school along with a teacher when a cable snapped about halfway through the crossing. Cries of relief from a crowd at the edge of a ravine, arms outstretched. A boy in a harness flanked by rescuers is pulled to safety. A terrifying 15-hour ordeal for 7 school children and a teacher in a remote part of Pakistan. They were traveling in a cable car early in the morning when a cable snapped 350 meters above a river canyon. Videos posted to social media shows a military helicopter hovering over the dangling cable car. 2 children were rescued using harnesses. But as night fell, the helicopters were grounded. Rescuers began what the military called a delicate operation involving commandos, the Army, and Air Force. Using one cable and a chairlift, the remaining children and teacher were rescued one by one. Pakistan's caretaker prime minister confirming on social media that all 8 have been safely rescued, adding great teamwork by the military, rescue departments, district administration, as well as the local people. And the caretaker prime minister says he now has ordered safety inspections of all private chairlifts to ensure their safety. I'm Zoraida Allman. Nathan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Zoraida. Back in this country, an explosion rocked downtown Prince George, British Columbia today, injuring 3 people. The blast happened at around 7 a.m. local time at an abandoned building. One of the people hurt suffered serious injuries in the explosion that sparked a fire. Crews spent hours putting out the flames. Authorities shut down power in the area and closed down local roads. Police say it's too early to speculate about what caused the blast.
It is day 2 of the federal cabinet retreat in PEI, and this afternoon, the deputy prime minister made it clear what's topping the agenda.
Focus really has been and will continue to be the economy, and how the Canadian economy can deliver for the Canadian middle class. We've had a particular focus on housing and just had a really, really constructive discussion with some housing experts from across the country, sharing some great ideas.
The government says Canadians want to see serious action addressing the cost and availability of housing. Meanwhile, the Liberals revealed today there might be caps on the number of new study permits for international students. Well, maybe you've noticed it among your family or friend group. Perhaps you've even dealt with it yourself. Cases of COVID-19 in the community.
Some experts say Ontario is seeing a new wave. So what's the guidance from those in the know? CTV's Beth McDonnell reports.
After a long pandemic, crowds and summer fun are in full swing. In May, the World Health Organization declared an end to the COVID-19 emergency, but the virus has not gone away.
Every single year in Canada since the emergence of COVID, we've seen a rise in the community burden of COVID-19 as summer enters fall season. And to no one's surprise, we're going to see the same thing this year.
Wastewater results and test data are still collected, and since the end of July in Ontario, cases are on the rise. Last August, the percentage of tests coming back positive was moderate at 13.4%, moving to its highest point over the past 12 months in January at 17.1%. Right now, test positivity is considered low at 7.2%.
We're in a wave right now.
Currently, the dominant strain is EG5, which stems from Omicron. Another new strain, BA2.86, also comes from Omicron, but Dr. Fahad Razik says it's one we want to pay attention to, as it's highly mutated and has been found in Israel, the UK, and US.
Only a handful of cases. Nothing to suggest yet that it is more severe or more transmissible. But the reason people pay attention is when a version of the virus has mutated this much, it has that potential to spread widely to evade the immune system. And I think the next 1 to 2 weeks are going to be really critical to learn more.
On our side, says Dr. Isaac Bogosh, most of us have some COVID immunity along with the knowledge and tools for protection, wearing a mask, improving indoor air quality, and vaccines.
They used to prevent infection rather well. They don't prevent infection nearly as well as they did, but they still protect us against more severe manifestations of the virus. You know, some people sadly are going to be hospitalized with this. Sadly, some people are going to succumb to the illness. But based on what we're seeing now, obviously time stamping this to August of 2023, we're not going to see scenes like we saw earlier on in the pandemic.
When it comes to timing the next shot, Canada's National Advisory Committee on Immunization recommends a dose of the new vaccine, expected to be approved and available early this fall for long-term care residents and adults 65 and up, if it's been 6 months since their last shot or infection. Bogosh says anyone wondering what exactly to do should contact their healthcare provider. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
The Toronto Raptors are accustomed to competing on the basketball court, but the team is now battling in the court of law.
The organization accused of illegally using information from another team to gain an advantage. CTV's Raheem Ladani joins us in studio now with the details. Raheem.
Well, Michelle and Nathan, this alleged bad behavior took place last month between the Toronto Raptors and a former employee of the New York Knicks. The Raptors now have 20 days to formally respond to these allegations. The Toronto Raptors have sparked a legal battle off the court, accused of secretly stealing information from the NBA's New York Knicks. The Knicks filed a lawsuit on Monday against the Raptors, new head coach Darko Rajakovic, player development coach Noah Lewis, and 10 John Does. The Knicks have also named their own former director of player development assistant Ikechukwu Ozotam. Court documents allege the Raptors recruited and used Ozotam to serve as a mole within the Knicks organization to convey information that would assist the Raptors defendants in trying to manage their team. The Knicks are alleging that after the Raptors offered Ozotam a job in July, he stole proprietary scouting material and illegally shared thousands of video files with the Raptors.
Depending on what happens with the investigation, parties may start to separate. Right? Because if I'm advising the Raptors, I'm going to say, listen, this is pretty serious, and it affects the intellectual property.
Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, which owns the Raptors, responded to the lawsuit saying, MLSC and the Toronto Raptors received a letter from MSG on Thursday of last week bringing this complaint to our attention. MLSC responded promptly, making clear our intention to conduct an internal investigation and to fully cooperate. The company strongly denies any involvement in the matters alleged. This summer, the Raptors hired Darko Rajakovic as a first-time head coach. The lawsuit alleges that Rajakovic did not have his own structure and coaching method, so he chose to exploit the Knicks' methods.
It's an interesting theory. It does have some legs to it. It will strongly depend on what the Raptors come back with in terms of what they knew.
None of the allegations have been proven in court. Now, the Knicks are seeking an unspecified amount in damages for Ozotam to not gain anything for his alleged actions and for the Raptors to stop using the confidential information. Reporting live, I'm Raheem Ladani. Michelle, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Raheem. Coming up, they dare dine and dash. Now a restaurant is calling out the unappetizing behavior, hoping to serve up a side of justice.
And I'm Pat Foran. Coming up on Consumer Alert, having your roof replaced is a big job, and you have to make sure you pick the right contractor. A Scarborough senior is now regretting his decision after a company charged him $55,000 and did a poor job. I'll have my report just ahead.
Well, summer sure is sticking around stateside, at least in central parts of the country. Look at all these cities close to 40 degrees Celsius. We, on the other hand, are going to be below seasonal tomorrow. Forecast daytime high 22. That's it. We'll be even cooler as we head into this weekend. And get this, we might make it through August without hitting 30 degrees one time in Toronto. Stay with us. Your forecast is coming up, and we've got another full night of great shows for you right here on CTV.
Having your roof repaired or replaced is a major home renovation, and you should take your time when hiring a company to do it.
There are contractors going door to door promising they can do a roofing job right away, but if they approach, you should be careful. Our Pat Foran has this Consumer Alert. Pat.
Thanks, Michelle and Nathan. A Scarborough senior says roofers came to his door and convinced him he needed a brand new roof, even though his roof was done only 2 years ago. They charged him $55,000, left the job unfinished, and are now nowhere to be found.
They ran it over to my neighbors and they just jammed it in.
75-year-old Robert Buchan of Scarborough says roofers came to his home after speaking with other seniors in the neighborhood. He needed some eaves troughs replaced, but when they looked at his side of the duplex, they said the roof was in horrible shape, even though it was done 2 years ago.
But he got up on the roof. He said, "Your roof is rotting," and And that's what scared me.
The roofer said they could replace the wood, shingles, and eaves troughs at a cost of $55,000 if they were paid in advance. They did work on the roof, but they used the wrong materials. Eave trough sections are missing, and they left a hole in a gazebo.
When did you know that they maybe weren't legit?
When they didn't come back to finish the job.
This is the contract that Buchan signed. The phone number is now disconnected. The email doesn't work, and even the name of the company appears to be made up and not exist anywhere. Buchan says he has ongoing health issues and wasn't thinking clearly when he agreed to the $55,000 contract.
My wife and I are almost divorced over. We love each other very much, but that's how much pressure it is put on my wife and myself.
Buchan has filed a police report and hired another roofer who says it will cost another $8,000 to fix the mistakes left behind. To avoid roofing scams, beware door-to-door offers, verify businesses carefully, don't pay money in advance, don't let strangers on your property, and don't be afraid to tell them to leave. Buchan wanted to share what happened to him to warn others.
Be careful, get second quotes, third quotes. Don't pay up front like I did. Hold your money back.
And Toronto police say roofing scams have been on the rise this year. Another tactic scammers use is offering to do free inspections or saying they have a drone that spotted a hole in your roof that needs to be fixed right away. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
If you have a consumer story idea, email us at alert@ctv.ca.
Right to the forecast. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Take advantage of this weather while we have it.
August is going real fast, but there's a lot to like in the forecast this week. We do, though, have a few days of, unsettled stuff to deal with.
And, I was crunching the numbers, and we're actually a little below average as far as rainfall in August. It hasn't exactly been a hot month. It's been humid at times, but we could use a little bit of rain, the lawns, the gardens, and it looks like we're going to get some. Again, hopefully you enjoyed today and the sunshine that remains out there at this hour. Sunset time about 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. And then tomorrow there's going to be a lot more in the way of cloud. Weather is brought to you by Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand. It's hard to stop a train. Just before we talk about the weather here locally, I want to update you on what has become suddenly a very busy Atlantic Ocean. This is the hurricane season, of course, around the time when it peaks. And we talked a little bit about Harold, which is now a tropical depression. Here's what that looks like as it's making its way. I'll show you that in just a moment. But as you can see, there are 5 disturbances that we're monitoring. Gert is now post-tropical. Emily, those are the remnants, and there's what's left of Harold, soaking southern portions of Texas. This is an area of concern, though. This is Tropical Storm Franklin. It has been bringing soaking rains to parts of the Dominican Republic today, Haiti as well. As it makes its way back into the Atlantic this weekend, it is expected to strengthen into a hurricane and gradually make its way northward towards perhaps Bermuda, the continental U.S. We'll keep an eye on things for you with that one. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. Beautiful sunshine today, but you can see what's coming. Cloud cover along with some showers and yes, maybe some thunderstorms into tomorrow afternoon. It's a little bit of a scattered mess. Let's show you what we're expecting overnight tonight. There's the increase in cloud cover. Early risers likely to encounter some scattered wet weather. There might be a little bit of a break in the precipitation midday. Heading into the late afternoon or early evening, thunderstorms will be a possibility, especially across the extreme southwest. Continuing overnight and into the day on Thursday. And then Thursday is still unsettled, mostly cloudy. You'll probably want to keep the umbrella handy. We're at 23 degrees right now here locally. It's a very pleasant evening. Overnight, a few of those showers could begin before morning. 16 is our forecast low. This is what we're waking up to. Again, bring the umbrella. Just be mindful of the fact that it is an unsettled day. And here's a quick snapshot of what you can expect tomorrow afternoon. Keep an eye on the sky and an ear out for thunder. These would be embedded non-severe thunderstorms, but of course it's worth mentioning. Here's your 7-day forecast. So Friday, we mix back into some sun. The weekend generally looks good. Chance of showers on Saturday, beautiful sunshine for Sunday, but look at those highs, only around 21 and 22 degrees. That's your look at the forecast for now. Nathan, over to you.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Also tonight, once a Ford assembly plant, now transformed to fulfill endless Amazon orders in Ontario. Still ahead, we'll take you on a tour of the 2 million square foot facility and show you how purchases are able to get to your doorstep so fast.
An international gathering of doctors and scientists is underway in Quebec City this week.
And one of the studies being greeted with enthusiasm is looking at the role of special probiotics in treating multiple sclerosis. CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan has more.
Probiotics can be good for your gut flora, but the probiotic used in this research is a type of E. coli that goes beyond what you find in foods.
Just as a funny story, this is a strain that was isolated from a German soldier in World War I.
Speaking to the International Society of Neuroimmunology, Professor Francisco Quintana explained it was created specifically for their study.
So we really engineered it so it would produce a specific anti-inflammatory molecule, a chemical that can target lymphocytes, basically inflammatory T cells in the gut.
Quintana's team found that the special probiotic, given to mice with conditions mimicking multiple sclerosis, was able to affect gut flora, which in turn suppressed key regions of the brain associated with inflammatory reactions.
An anti-inflammatory effect that is targeted, that is well controlled, and is strong enough in order to resolve ongoing inflammation.
But what's really cool about it is that it means that we can design probiotics to deliver the correct immunomodulators to immune cells through the gut.
Professor Jennifer Gomerman from the University of Toronto says there's still a lot of work to translate the results to humans, but it's exciting news for the MS community.
Canada has the highest rate of MS in the world. Approximately 90,000 Canadians are living with MS right now.
Professor Quintana's group is hoping to get funding to begin clinical trials soon, and the hope is that this technique could prove helpful for other autoimmune conditions as well. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
It's a customer service horror story. An Ontario restaurant is now hoping to turn the tables on a group of Dine and Dashers.
Refusing to pay for hundreds of dollars worth of food and drink, and a server who says she was belittled to the point of tears. CTV's Spencer Turcotte reports.
Jillian Odorico is a server at the Goofy Newfie Pub and Grill in Fergus. For the most part, she loves her customers. But Sunday afternoon, one table stood out from the rest.
They were doing a couple rounds of tequila shots, and they did a few total.
Everything about their experience appeared to be wonderful until the end.
When it came to paying up, she says the customers went on the attack. Jillian says they fought back on how much they ordered, despite having proof on the receipt and security cameras.
Making me feel like I was crazy, I was imagining this. They're like, look at the shot glasses on the table, there's not that many. I'm like, no, because I cleared some off for you.
Jillian says the arguing was so bad, she had to step away.
I was in tears, yes.
The bartender stepped in to try and resolve the situation. The group gave cash for one round of shots, but by the time the bartender went inside to get their change and came back, they were gone.
The whole bill in total was around $400, and they left with just under $300 to still pay.
Now the restaurant's owner is putting out a plea to the people responsible, asking them to come forward so they can do the right thing and settle the outstanding bill. She says something like this is rare at her pub. But to double down on the disappointment, a second Dine and Dash happened just moments before our CTV cameras arrived.
Just when you were walking in, we had a table say they were going out for a cigarette, left their phone and wallet, and then came back and got their phone and wallet and left on their bill. It's not a normal occurrence, and then twice in 3 days.
Jillian is back on the job. She hopes she can continue providing a great dining experience without a side of dashing. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News, Fergus.
New data shows Canada's performing arts industry bounced back well after pandemic restrictions were lifted. Promoters and presenters hit hard by cancellations in 2020 and 2021 saw revenue increases of nearly 146% in 2022. The nonprofit performing arts industry saw revenues increase by 71%, and the for-profit industry had an increase of more than 56% last year. An unprecedented number of backlogged and new projects in Canada's film and television industry led to a nearly 31% rise in 2022 revenues.
Drake is keeping it in the family for his new album. This is an image of the cover, which was designed by his 5-year-old son, Adonis. The artwork portrays a white dog with red eyes drawn in what appears to be crayon. The rapper's latest work, For All the Dogs, is expected to be released later this week.
Stars Tonight is brought to you by Lastman's Bad Boy. Who's better? Nobody.
Good evening. On the next CB24 Breakfast, with classes set to start back up, we'll talk about student health from head to toe to make sure kids get the new school year off on the right foot. That's up next on CB24 Breakfast, up first at 5:30 a.m.
Sick to my stomach that something like this would happen in this neighborhood.
Updating our top story, the 66-year-old man's in stable but critical condition after being stabbed in Oshawa today. It happened while he was pushing his granddaughter's stroller. Police say the attack appears to be random. A suspect's been arrested.
We've also been able to add almost 4 new acres of rooftop parks and public trails.
New details about a planned update to Ontario Place's West Island. It includes bands of trails leading to a spa and indoor water park. Another change, the size of the main building is being reduced by about 25%. The amendment follows pushback from City Hall and the public.
We're in a wave right now.
Cases of COVID-19 have been on the rise in Ontario since the end of July. Every year since the virus emerged, there's been an increase as summer enters fall, and this year will be no exception. The dominant strain right now is EG5, which stems from Omicron.
On the markets, the Canadian dollar is down a fraction to 73.76 US. American benchmark oil losing 48 cents, closing at 79.64 US a barrel. And the TSX Composite Index dropping 93 points, ending the day at 19,691. For many of us, orders and deliveries from sites like Amazon are nearly a daily routine, but just how those products get to your door can be a bit of a mystery.
Tonight, a behind-the-scenes look at a new fulfillment center set to open here in Southern Ontario. Here's CTV's Brent Lale.
Totes are moving, conveyor belts are being tested, and the Amazon Center is nearly ready for operation.
Pretty close, less than 5 weeks away, and as you can see, the building is in the last phases of final touch-ups and getting things ready.
General Manager Himanshu Kalia gave CTV a tour of the 4 stages of processing.
Our first stop of the tour currently is an inbound side of operations. This is where we get our product from multiple vendors who sell on Amazon's website and put them in the yellow containers, and all these totes then flow up the building.
Next, they are sent to the robotic floor storage, where they are stored in pods and moved by robotic drives.
So these are the drives which bring the pods to an associate working on a station where we can put away the product into the bins.
Next, they are sent down to the packing stations.
These are our single pack stations into these corrugate boxes, and then they are put on into the conveyors where they are routed back to the ship dock area.
That ship dock is the final stage in the process.
This is where we sort the packages going to different destinations. We put them in pallets, and then the pallets are taken away to the dock doors where they're loaded into the trailers and they are departed from a building.
For the past 2 years, Broccolini Construction has been working on converting the former Ford plant to the 4-story, 2 million square foot center.
We're in the final 1% of stuff here. We're just tightening the last couple bolts, helping Amazon get everything put together here. We started constructing in 2021, middle of COVID. 750 people on site a day, just really pushed through, made it happen.
At this point, Amazon says they have hired about 100 workers, with 900 more to be selected next month.
Most of the hiring will happen in September, and 1st October is the date where we open up, where first set of inventory will come into the building from our vendors, and we'll start our receiving or inbound operations. So our workforce staffing team is actually actively working in terms of marketing the job, posting the jobs online, and folks who are interested in working at Amazon, they can go to Amazon Canada hourly jobs online and apply for the role.
Full-time positions will start at approximately $20 per hour. Brent Lale, CTV News.
Tonight, stranded on a cable car high above a remote ravine in Pakistan. The dramatic rescue operation after a cable suddenly snapped. That story and more later on CTV National News.
The party is probably still going on in Spain. The Women's World Cup team was hosted by the acting Prime Minister today at the Presidential Palace. Pablo Sanchez told the players the whole country is proud of them for winning the tournament for the first time and announced they will be awarded Spain's Golden Medal of Sports Achievement. Last night, the historic victory was celebrated with a parade through Madrid. Thousands of fans filled the streets of the capital to party with the team. Spain defeated England 1-0 to capture their first ever World Cup title on Sunday. The final broke both attendance and TV viewership records. In Spain, 5.6 million people watched the match.
In Tennessee, a workplace romance has culminated in an unforgettable moment for the couple and their colleagues at a TV station.
Cornelia Nicholson.
I'm gonna cry.
Would you marry me?
Chattanooga reporter Riley Nagel popped the question while Cornelia Nicholson was recording a promotional video for the late news. She was surprised but didn't hesitate in saying yes. The two met while working together at a station in Billings, Montana. What a beautiful story.
That is breaking news. That's wonderful. Love it when there's great news. Congrats to that couple. Weather-wise, we have some rainy news. We got clouds moving in. The question is, will it be a washout Wednesday or not so bad?
It doesn't look like it's going to be a total washout, but we do have quite a bit of active weather. We'll take one more look at what you can expect tomorrow. Risk of thunderstorms into the afternoon, generally cooler, cloudier, and more unsettled. Nathan and Michelle.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Be sure to join Omar Sachedina tonight at 11 for CTV National News, followed by Zarada Allman with our next local newscast at 11:30.
In the meantime, our coverage continues anytime on CP24 and online at ctvnewstoronto.ca.
For Lindsay Morrison and all of us at CTV News, thank you for watching and have a good night.